summary of the most common mistakes that I see. One is, by far the most common, is that everybody underestimates the time that a project takes. Although I was introduced to this Einsteinian problem of time dilation early on in my physics career, and at the Cavendish, the people in the workshop gave me a good rule of thumb. They said, if you think that something takes X, say half a year or so, multiplied by pi, it normally takes just a little longer than 3 times what you think. So that's a good rule of thumb. So the startups should take that into account. The second thing that people always underestimate, which is closely correlated with the first, is the amount of money that is needed to get a project going. I've already talked about the overestimate of market sizes. It's a common problem, especially with over-enthusiastic young people who can see how wonderfully attractive this new product is, but nobody else does. So this market size problem is a key issue, especially for technology-based companies, especially based in Cambridge. Then the attractiveness of the product and people issues. It is surprising how easily people fall out with each other. So watch out for that as well, common mistake. So in conclusion, my main story or my main conclusion here is that mistakes are going to happen all the time. Just make sure that you always make new mistakes. Just don't try to learn from the old ones. Don't repeat your mistakes. Just make new ones. If you don't make new ones, you're not trying too hard. And mistakes come in lots of different guises. There is a very large number of different mistakes, although some are more common than others. Experience does actually help. So listening to some of us venture capitalists does pay off. You should at least listen. You don't always need to implement what we suggest, but listen, because we've come across most mistakes in our careers. And last but not least, learn the basics. There are people often ask me, aren't entrepreneurs born? And you can't train them, so you shouldn't even try. Well, I always liken that with a concert pianist. If somebody is tone deaf, he'll never make a concert pianist out of them. But giving him a piano does help. So you need to create the environment. You need to have the basics. You need to find middle C and do your scales. And in terms of doing high technology companies, you've got to understand the basics of accounting. You've got to understand the basics of finance and marketing. And that is all stuff that can be learned. Thank you very much for your attention.